note how much tribute should presently expire or expire with me and mine own of the dukedom or the kingdom of Milan, with all the honors on my brother, whereon the treacherous army lived. One midnight, please highlight, one midnight fated to the purpose, which means they decided that midnight في وحدة من الليالي الحالكة مو fated to the purpose, did Antonio open the gates of Milan, and in the dead of darkness, the ministers of the purpose hurried thence me and thy crying self. وفي وحدة من الليالي خلونا شنو في قارب وللبحر. Miranda, alack for pity, alack, I know not remembering how I cried out that, will cry it over again. She says, I don't remember how I was crying at that time. I wish to cry over and over again. فطيرة هي Miranda, فطيرة. Prospero, here a little further, and then I will bring thee to the present business which now is upon us, without the which this story were most impertinent. Now, Miranda, wherefore did they not thou would destroy us? Prospero, well demanded. Whence my tale provokes that question, dear. They durst not, so dear that love my now. After these 12 years, the king's daughter is getting married to some certain king, other king, and they just delivered her in a kind of convey. And while they are coming back, Prospero came to know all about this. يعني هم راجعين من زفة عرس الملك وأصدقاء ماكو، وبروسبيرو عرف بالموضوع. بروسبيرو عرف بالموضوع وخلق هذا النوع من الإعصار. Now, Miranda, please move on to Miranda. After line 105.7, Miranda, how came we ashore? سأل سؤال، شلون اجينا لهذا الساحل؟ شلون اجينا للجزيرة؟ Prospero, by providence divine, بمشيئة الله. ممكن very good حسن، ممكن واحد يترجمها بهالطريقة. Some food we had and some fresh water because you can't drink the sea water. That a noble Neapolitan Gonzalo, listen, some dramatic irony is going to happen. Gonzalo, a very good man, out of his charity, who being then appointed master of this design, did give us with rich garments, malabis, linen, stuffs, and necessaries, which since have steered much. So of his gentleness, knowing I loved my books, he furnished me from my own library with volumes that I prize above my dukedom. This good man, old man, his name Gonzalo, helped us. He gave us.
هو مستشار للملك أعتقد مو؟
مستشار, yeah. And he helped them with some certain food, fresh water, clothes, and above all, he gave them books because he knows Prospero prefer books much more than any other thing. Now, Miranda, I would might but ever see that man. Now, highlight this sentence and write down dramatic irony. Dramatic irony. Just تجيك بالامتحان. Dramatic irony. What is dramatic irony? Who can tell us what does that mean? Dramatic irony.
يعني كونتراست بالأحداث، فشي كلش دراماتيكي بالتناقض مالته.
حيدر عامر. التناقض contrast. That is another literary device. أكو contrast, أكو alliteration, أكو metaphor, أكو irony, أكو كذا. Now we have contrast and we have irony. So you cannot
irony يعني سخرية مو؟
عفوا سخرية. How is it possible? سخرية. What does that mean? بتقول سخرية. سخرية.
دراماتيك ايرون يعني مثل سخرية القدر، انك الشغلة انك تتوقع انها تصير وتصير مباشرة وهيك شيء.
سخرية القدر تتوقع انها تصير او تتأمل هي تصير وتصير صدق وهيك.
وتصير فورا. اي
وتصير فورا. Now you have touched on something but not exactly. I will tell you what is irony. In general, it is a kind of literary device used mostly in drama, earlier in drama. Then novelists have taken such an advice and device, but used totally different. And now when you read the novel, for instance, Gulliver's Travels, you are going to meet the irony. The irony is totally different. Irony in the novel is totally different from the dramatic irony. In the novel, it's a kind of laughter. سخرية، ضحك. يعني تقول شيء وتقصد يعني العكس. يعني أنت تمدح لك واحد بس أنت بالحقيقة جاي تذمه. أو مثلا تقلد على واحد. والآيروني يتقسم يعني أكو بي حتى مال بروبزم تحشيش بي وبي اكزاجريشن بي مبالغة وهاي كاريكاتير تشوفونه هذا كله آيروني. لكن بالمسرح الآيروني مختلف تماما. Now irony is when the character is going to say something he doesn't know about it while the audience knows the truth. The audience knows the truth.
دكتور هو الايروني مو اعتقد يجي بمعنى انه المشاهد عنده معرفة مسبقة بالاحداث
exactly.
وبالممثلين.
Yes, that is this. Yeah, exactly, Hassan. This is the dramatic irony when the person or the character is going to say something, but this thing is known already by the audience, but he doesn't know. Now, Miranda says, I wish to meet this good man, but doesn't know that today she is going to meet him. I mean, the day of the play, the opening scene. You follow?
Yes, sir.
This is dramatic irony. Yeah, this is dramatic irony. Very important in drama. Very, very important. Now, Prospero, now I arise. Sit still and hear the last of our sea sorrow. Here in this island we arrive, and here have I, thy schoolmaster, made thee more prophet than other princes can. That have more time for vain hours, and tutors not so careful. Miranda, heavens thank you, Father, for it. And now I pray you, sir, for still it is beating in my mind your reason for raising this sea storm. Still, you told me a very touching story, but tell me why you are raising this storm. Prospero. Now, thus far forth, by accident most strange. He says, by accident most strange. اللي هم قلنا راجعين مو الملك وصل بنته تزوجت بالمغرب العربي some other king وراجع bountiful fortune now my dear lady hath, which means has, mine enemies brought to this shore. By accident my enemies are around in this ship, and by any presence I found my zenith. Thus depend upon a most auspicious star, whose influence, if now I caught not, but omit my fortune, will ever after drop. Here cease more questions. Thou art inclined to sleep. She is getting sleep. It is a good dullness. يعني بقوة السحرية راح ينيمها لأنه Ariel is coming. The spirit. We are meeting Prospero today. We're meeting Miranda. We're meeting Ariel. The spirit. طنطل ها. It's a good dullness and give it away. I know thou can't not choose. Miranda sleeps. جاي تلاحظ بين inverted commas or Miranda sleeps. بهالأثناء هو يسولف وياها Miranda sleeps. Sleeps. Come away, servant, come away. He is calling Ariel, the spirit. Ariel is invisible, a kind of ghost. Come, I am ready now. Approach my Ariel. Approach. Come in. Enter Ariel. Ariel is going to hail. Is going to say salam. Is going to say hi. This is their salam at that time. This is the all hail. يعني سلام عليكم كذا. تحية العظماء. All hail the great master. Grave sir. All hail great master. Grave sir, hail. I come to answer thy best pleasure. Be it to fly, to swim, to drive into the fire, to ride on the clouds, to thy strong biding task, Ariel, and all his equality. لبيك Ariel Benedict.
Ariel Benedict.
Exactly. All hail, great master, great sir, hail. I come to answer thy best pleasure. Be it to fly, أنا مستعد to fly, to swim, to dive into the fire, to ride on the curly clouds, to thy strong biding task, Ariel, and all his equality for you. Prospero, has thou spirit performed to point the tempest that I bathe thee? شو يسأله؟ قلت لك سوي هذا الإعصار. Have you done? Now Ariel is going to answer to every article. Let's say بالحرف الواحد. I have done it the best way. بالضبط. راح يشرح له شنو سوى. I boarded the king's ship. This is number one. أول ما صعد على السفينة مو. I boarded the king's ship. Now on the beak. Now in the west. مرة يصعد فوق. مرة ينزل مو. The deck. In every cabin. يعني طنطل شو تلزمه. مرة فوق مرة جوا مرة بالأخير مرة يدخل لي كابينات داخل بالغرف. Now in the west. The deck in every cabin. I flamed amazement. شاعل نار. Sometimes I would divide and burn in many places. On the topmast, the yard, and bowsprit, would I flame distinctly. Then meet and join Jove's lightning, the pursuit of the dreadful thunderclaps, more momentary and sight. He's going to tell the entire story. Prospero says, my brave spirit, who was حسن سد yes who was so firm, so constant that this coil would not infect his reason. My brave spirit. Ariel, not at all. He asked him whether anybody is getting harm or not. He says, not a soul, but felt a fever of the mad and played some tricks of desperation. All but mariners plunged in the foam and brine and quit the vessel. Then all afire with me, the king's son Ferdinand. Number one, Ferdinand. Today we are going to meet him. With her upstaring, then like reeds not her, was the first man that leapt, cried, hell is empty and all devils are here. What he says, تلاحظ inverted commas. What he says, yes, hell is empty.
قال الجحيم فارغ كل الشياطين جت هنا.
بالضبط فرغت الجحيم. النار ما بيها ولا شيطان. كلهم هنا. نعم. Prospero. Why that is my spirit, but was not that night show close by my master? He's asking about the ship. Prospero. But are they Ariel safe? He's asking about the mariners. Not a hair perished.
ما طخم ولا شعرة.
بالضبط. On the sustaining garments, not a blemish, but fresher than before. And as thou badest me in troops, I have dispersed them at thy isle. The king's son have I landed by myself. This is number one. يقول له هذا ابن الملك فرديناند أنا نزلت بيدي. Myself. بكل رفق. whom I felt cooling of the earth outside, in all the angles of the aisle, and sitting his arms in his hard notes. Prospero. Of the kingship, the mariners say how thou dost. Now move on to Ariel. Sorry. Yeah, move on to Prospero. After 2, 3, 4, line number 243. Prospero, Ariel, thy charge exactly is performed. Means you have done very good work. But there is more work. What is the time of the day? Now highlight this and write down Shakespeare is emphasizing the unity of time and action in the play. In the play. يعني ما معقولة بروسبيرو الساحر الكبير يسأل على وقت يقول له بيش ساعة. لكن شكسبير جاي ينطينا إشارة أنه بيش الساعة حتى نعرف يمتى تنتهي المسرحية، لأنه الوقت محدود بالمسرحية. مو مثل الرواية تأخذ لها 28 سنة. فالمسرحية يوم أو يومين تنتهي. Past the mid-season. Past the mid-season. Ariel. Yeah. Prospero, at least 2 glasses. The time twixt 6 and now must be by us both be spent most preciously. Ariel, is there more toil? Since thou dost give me pains, let me remember thee. What thou hast promised, which is not yet performed me. Now, Ariel, please write down. Ariel is asking for his liberty, asking for his freedom, because now he is a kind of slave. لأن بروسبيرو لما اجى على الجزيرة لقى أريل مربوط على شجرة وحرره، وبعد ما حرر بالضبط ملكه، فقال له مقابل شيء انت تقضي لي شغل وانا احررك. I shall set thee free. He says, what are you demanding? Ariel, my liberty. Highlight. Prospero, before the time be out, no more. I have some certain things for you to do. Ariel, I prithee, remember I have done thee worthly service, told thee no lies, made no mistakes, served without or glory or any grumbling. Thou did promise to bait me a full year, to set me free. Prospero, does thou forget? From what a torment I did free thee. I did free thee. ذكرك قال نسيت أنا من حررتك. Yes. Move on to Ariel. I do not, sir. After line 256. I do not, sir. Prospero, thou lies, malignant thing, hast thou forget the fowl which Saccharus? Please write down Caliban's mother. She was a witch. ساحرة، وهي كاليبان، هي اللي كانت يعني ساجنة أريل. Who with the age and envy was grown into a who? Hast thou forget her? No, sir. Prospero, thou hast where she was born. Speak. Now, Shakespeare is telling us the roots and the origins of Caliban, where he is from. جاي يسأله يقول له هي من أصلها? Tell me. Ariel, sir, in Algeria. Now, which means African. Please write down Caliban's roots of Africa, black people, non-Western people. Are you with me, guys?
نعم دكتور زين.
Yes, دكتور.
المother of Caliban.
Yes, very good. Very.
ما الدكتور قبل لا تجي قبل لا يجي بروسبيرو.
Yes. She's dead right now. She's dead.
يعني هو أخذ سوالفها، أخذ أدواتها السحرية وقام
لا ما أخذ. بروسبيرو أصلا هو ساحر، يعني هو انعزل عن الحكم لأن التهى بالسحر بقراءة الكتب، شمس المعارف ما شمس المعارف ماكو. فكان أغلب وقته هو عايف المنصب ويقرأ يقرأ 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 كتب، إلى أن هذا خلى أنطونيو أخوه يتمكن من عنده ويشمره. فهو أصلا عنده إمكانية السحر وهالشكل. Yes, he is the master of the island right now. He knows everything and he can do anything. Yes. Oh, was she so? I must. Once in a month recount what thou hast been, which thou forgetst, the demand which sacrifice for mischief. Yeah, please move on to Prospero. This blue-eyed hag, he's talking about Caliban. Write down Caliban's background. Caliban is a very, 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 very important character in the text. يعني لا يفوتك كاليبان أبدا. This blue-eyed hag was hither brought with child, and here was left by the sailors. Thou, my slave, as thou reports myself or thyself, was then her servant, and for thou was a spirit too delicate. Now move on. Ariel. Yes, Caliban, her son. Caliban, which means Caliban is her son. Prospero, he hates him so far. Dull thing. I say so, he that Caliban whom now I keep in service, thou best knowns what torment I did find thee in. Thy groans did make wolves howl and penetrate the breast of ever angry bear. It was a torment to lay upon. Now move on to Ariel. He says, thank you, master. I thank thee, which means I thank you, master. Prospero, if thou more murmured, I will round on oak. Please turn the page over. Pardon me, master. I will be correspondent to command and do any brighten gently. Prospero, do so, and after 2 years I will discharge thee. I will set you free. Ariel, that is my noble master. That is my noble. What shall I do? Say what? What shall I do? Prospero. Second command. Go make thyself like a nymph of the sea. Be subject to no sight but thine and mine. Invisible. انطى أمر جديد. قال له سوي نفسك invisible. More. Spirit. To every eyeball else. Only me can see you. Go take this shape and hither come in it. Go hands with diligence. ينطي أمر. قال له روح شوف لي الأخبار. شنو؟ Yes. Exit Ariel. Awake dear here. Heart awake. ذكرون ميراندا قبل شوية نامت مو؟ Has slept very well. Awake. قعدت ميراندا. Now she's awake. The strangeness of your story put heaviness in me, she says. Shake it off, come on. We will visit Caliban, my slave, who never yields us kind answers. Be careful, we are going to meet Caliban on the stage. This is the first time. She hates him very much. Miranda, it is a villain, sir. I do not love to look on him. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Good. Now, yeah,
Yes.
very good. They are going to meet Caliban. And we, as audience, for the first time, we are going to meet him too on the stage. Caliban. Yeah, a Prospero. But as it's, we cannot miss him. He does make our fire. يقول إحنا نحتاجه. صحيح هو كذا. Fetch in our wood and serves in office that profit us. What? Who? Slave? Caliban? Start to shouting on Caliban. Thou earth, thou speak. Caliban within. This is the first time. Caliban within. There's wood enough within. طالبان ما له خلق وحتى سلام ما يرد وضايج كلش. قال ايش تريد؟ اكو حطب. There is wood enough within. Prospero. Come forth, I say.
دكتور العفو.
Yes.
وكلبان يعني مجرد انه تجيب لهم حطب ويشعل لهم نار، لو بعد عنده خدمات اكثر.
يكرب عليه، شنو ببالك؟ يصيد لهم ويجيب لهم، وشنو بيجيب لهم كل شيء. تمام؟ Yes حسن. Yeah. Come forth, I say. There is other business for thee. يعني يقول له بعد اكو شغل. Come thou tourist. When Ariel enter Ariel like a water nymph. بهاللحظة يدخل. Fine apparition my quaint Ariel heart in the thine eye. يدخل Ariel يعبر له معلومات، يسولف له. My lord, it shall be done. Exit. يعني حكى له حكاية وطلع Ariel. Thou poisonous slave, got by the devil himself upon thy wicked dam, come forth, enter Caliban. What is going to say Caliban is very, very, very important. يجوز يجيك بالامتحان ما ندري. دنيا هاي. Okay? What Caliban is going to tell is very important. But not these lines, the entire thing. Listen. As wicked dew, طبعا يخلصها دعاوي بس يدعي. As wicked dew was ever my mother brushed with raven's feather from unwholesome fen, trove on you both. دعوة هاي دعوة قوية طبعا. A southwest blow on you and blister you all over. All over. Prospero. For this be sure tonight that shalt have charms, size, stitches. راح ينطي أعمال شاقة. Now highlight what Caliban is going to sell. Please highlight. I must eat my dinner. This island is mine by sacrifice my mother, which thou takest from me. When thou came first, thou struck me and made much of me, wouldst give me water with berries in it, and teach me how to name the bigger light and how the less. Yes. حيدر يعني شوية يعني اوكي لا بأس. يس يعني لا تقاطعني مثلا فجأة حبوبي.
اسف دكتور.
اوكي يعني شيل ايدك، انت ما يقدر يشيل ايدك هنا، مو حاول يشيل ايدك بطريقة الالكترونية يعني. You should get it. To name the bigger light and how the less that burn by day and night, and then I loved thee and showed thee all the qualities of the isle. Isle means island. The fresh springs, brine bits, barren places and fertile. Cursed be, I do that. Cursed be on me. All the charms of secretudes, beetles, but light on you. For I am all the subjects that you have, which first was mine own king, and here you stay me in this hard rock while you do keep from me the rest of the island. Now, this is going to tell us the entire thing about the colonial experience of the Western culture. The colonial experience of the Western culture. Please write down this. This is very interesting. Colonialism, الاستعمار. Now, Caliban says, this island was earlier mine. I obtained this island actually from my mother. My mother was first here. And when she died, I am the only successor, let's say. And when you came over, he's talking to Prospero, like a colonizer. You came with power, which I do not have, which is obviously magic. And you have taken this island from me. And you have not only taken this island, you made me your slave. So this is the colonial story of the Western culture. When they go and colonize, and they're going to take the sources and resources and they exploit the nations. You follow؟ يعني هذا نموذج مصغر للاستعمار بعد البوست كولونيال ثيوري. انت تلاحظ يعني فجأة يجيك واحد واحنا بلد محتل وعشنا الاحتلال اكثر من مرة، مو فيجي وياخذ الارض ويحتل الارض ويعتبرها مالته. طبعا يعني مثلا كريستوفر كولومبوس راح قال لقيت قارة اسمها امريكا. يعني شنو لقيت؟ يعني قبلك ما كانت موجودة؟ او يجي واحد مثلا من غير محافظة او من غير بلد ويقول لقيت منطقة اسمها العشار او لقيت منطقة اسمها المعقل. يعني شنو لقيت؟ يعني خو بيها ناس وبيها بشر وبيها كذا، مو فصارت الي انا لقيت. يعني انت اول مره تدري بيها، انت اول واحد، انت اول مره تشوفها، ومو معناها ما موجود. Now Caliban is there, he has his own language, he has his own religion, he has his own customs and tradition, but انتم ما اخذتوا روايه لو بعدكم؟
نعم دكتور قاعد ناخذها يعني.
اخذتوا روبنسون كروسو لو غيرها؟
أي
نعم
هي
دكتور.
روبنسون كروسو.
نفس الدكتور
Very good,
روبنسون.
very good. The same, very good, very good. The same is true with Robinson Crusoe. Crusoe is going to meet Friday. He's not Friday. يعني احنا ما نعرف اسمه، بس كروسو لين لقاه بيوم الجمعة سماه جمعة كيفه، right؟ وبدأ
أي
ينطي
صحيح.
اللغة الإنجليزية، بدأ ينطي اللغة الإنجليزية، بدأ ينطي المسيحية، وبدأ ينطي كذا يعني أخذ الأرض مالته وسوى له مسخ حضاري. Now what he says Caliban again, I must eat my dinner. يحكي ويروح. This island is mine, my island, by sacrifice my mother, which thou takes from me, which you have taken from me. When thou come first, thou struck me, which means beat me, and made much of me, wouldst give me water with berries in it, and teach me how to name the bigger light. تعلمنا إنجليزي. The bigger light الشمس شنو اسمها؟ sun. Less moon, more, and how the less that burn day and night, and then I loved thee and showed thee all the qualities of the isle. حبيتك ودليتك كل المصادر الطبيعية اللي بالجزيرة. The fresh springs، الواحات، brine bits، barren places and fertile، خصوبة. Cursed be، مندوم. Cursed be I that did so. يلعن نفسه، يقول أنا شلون هيك انغلب. All the charms of Cyprus, toots, beetles, birds, light on you, for I am all the subjects that you have, which first was mine own king, and here you stay me in this hard rock. طبعا ساجنه هو مسوي له. Whilst you do keep from me the rest of the island. You have taken this. Prospero. خلينا نشوف شنو كاليبان سوى. Because of his animalistic nature. طبيعته الحيوانية، لأن هو يعني مو ابن حضارة. بروسبرو يعتبر ابن حضارة، الحضارة الأوروبية والديانة الأوروبية واللغة الإنجليزية. لكن بروسبرو عفوا كاليبان he has a kind of animalistic nature، مو الغريزة الحيوانية بداخله، the instincts. خلينا نشوف شنو سوى. Thou most lion slave، Prospero says, whom strives my move, not kindness. I have used thee with the humane care. يقول له أنا داريتك يعني with the humane care, and lodged thee in my own cell till thou didst seek to violate the honor of my child. You are lying. I brought you with the good. I let you sleep at the same cell, كوخ. But because of your animalistic desires, you've tried to violate the honor of my child. Caliban tried to rape Miranda while she was a little girl because of his animalistic nature. Oh, what had been done? Thou did prevent me. He says, you prevented me. You didn't, obviously. You didn't allow. I had people the aisle, or else I had people as the aisle with Calibans. If I have done this, now a lot of Calibans are there. That is so funny. Yeah. He is actually, just 1 second, please. Yeah. He is actually a kind of animal, half human, half animal. This is the image of Caliban. This is the image of Caliban you have to keep in your mind. Uphold the slave Miranda, which any print of goodness will not take, being capable of all ill. I pitied thee, took pains to make thee speak, I was trying to teach you English. Taught thee each hour one thing or other, when thou didst not savage, now know thine own meaning, but wouldst gabble like a thing most brutish. Yeah. I ended thy purpose with words that made them know. But please highlight racism. But thy vile race. هنا العنصرية. أنه أنت عنصرك شيء black, non-Western, non-white. But thy vile race, though thou did learn, had that in which good natures. I have tried to teach you, بس العوج عوج مو your race, thy vile race. Please write down superiority of the white race and inferiority of the black race, black people, related to the colonial experience of Western culture. I hope you are right. Now, Caliban. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Very good. Now,
Yes.
Caliban. Yeah, very good. Caliban, you taught me your language. طبعا Caliban ما يجامل. You taught me your language, and my profit on it is I know how to curse. وش استفادت من لغتكم يعني أنا؟ أعرف بس أسب، بس المسبة. مو؟ You taught me your language, which I don't really need. يعني هو على الجزيرة شو إلا بالإنجليزية. The red plague rid you. The red هاي دعوة. يدعى عليهم. Rid you for learning me your language. Your language. Colonization. Write down. Colonization. Succeed hence. Prosper says. Succeed. Hence. Fetch us in fuel and be quick. That is the best to answer other business. Now move on to Caliban. No pray thee aside. احنا قبل شوية لو حكينا على الأسايد لو ما حكينا. What does that mean? Aside?
لا دكتور.
No, what is aside? And monologue. شلون
الحوارات
حوارات
الجانبية.
جانبية؟ You're right.
someone talk with himself.
Sorry زينب. Sorry.
someone talk with يعني يحكي ويا نفسه يعني على الجانب مثلا يحكي ويا نفسه هيك.
Someone is talking to himself. That's it. على الجانب. How about the other characters on the stage?
Don't listen to him. They can't listen. What they don't know what he said.
Don't know what he says.
يعني هو
What he says, or they pretend not to know.
يعني شلون ما يعيروا الاهتمام ما
لا
يعطوا اهتمام.
مو ما ينطون اهتمام. يتظاهرون انهم ما سمعوا.
اي نعم نتفهم.
تمام.
نعم.
Very good. This is the two major techniques in drama. Two major techniques in drama. One is the monologue. The other is the aside. I want you to please let us define it. Now, what is the between the monologue
دكتور
and the aside?
المونولوج انه هو يتكلم مع نفسه فقط الجمهور يقدر يسمعه. اما الاسايد يتكلم نعم وياهم بس شلون يعني ما يعنيهم او هم يعني ما مهتمين ما يسمعون.
Now with the monologue the character is alone on the stage. This is the difference.
نعم دكتور فقط هو والأودينس.
He's alone on the stage and he is telling something very touching concerning his own suffering, concerning his heart's burden, let's say. Something احنا نسميه وجداني. فقريب من دعاء القنوت هو المونولوج، ويتكلم معاناة وكذا وهموم والجمهور يسمع. لكن الأسايد اكو ناس على المسرح، لكن الموجودين the characters pretend not to hear him. That's it. Because there is not technology to separate. يعني مو مثل الفيلم يقدر يصور لك الواحد وين ما يقعده بحديقة، وين ما يقعده ويخليه يحكي ويروح. لكن انت عندك خشبة مسرح، والجمهور لازم، او عفوا الشخصيات لازم كلهم يصعدون سوية. مرة ينزل واحد، ينزل مو ينزلهم كلهم على ما يحكي ويصعد. فيكون الاسايد، شكسبير اخترع هذه التقنية اللي يسميها اسايد. يسميها اسايد. الموجودين ما راح يسمعون، راح ما يسمعون، لكن بالحقيقه يسمعون. Yes. Now the Caliban going to say something.
انقطعت الصورة والصوت.
يعني مو بس أنا حسبالي من
بالي بس عندي.
أنا حسبالي من النت.
يعني من عند الدكتور هسه كلها؟
من النت.
اي نعم.
ايوه الدكتور
عند كل الطلاب.
صحيح، وصل للبحر اول شيء
بالضبط.
للشاطئ.
يعرفها بميراندا الان. Where should this music be؟ يعني فرديناند قاعد على صخره ويسمع الاغاني. In the air or in the earth. It sounds no more. طبعا توقف هنا. And sure it waits upon some god of the island, sitting on a bank, weeping again the king, my father's wreck. This music crept by me upon the waters. محتار يقول هاي الأغاني متى. Align both the fury and my passion with the sweeter. Thence I have followed it. Or it had thrown me rather, but it's gone. No, it guns again. Ariel is going to sing again. He sings, full fathom 5 thy father lies, of his bones are coal made, those are pearls that were his eyes, nothing of his does fade, but does suffer a sea change into something strange, into something rich and strange, seemeth holy ring his knell, or his hell, yeah. Ding dong, ding dong. Now, this is a kind of song by Ariel. And this time he mentions his father. What he says, full fathom 5 thy father lies. أي شو يسمونها بالأدب. Full fathom 5 thy father lies. Of his bones are coral made. Those are pearls that were his eyes. Nothing of him that does fade, but does suffer to change into something rich and strange. Seems hurly ring his neck. He's
Rhyming,
singing.
sir?
Not rhyming. بعد حي. Full fathom 5 thy father lies. Full fathom 5.
كون بس اعتقد.
شنو هي؟
كون بس تلحين.
لا، هذا التكرار بالمقطع الأول، وهذا حتى بالعربي موجود. سلاني سل فرقاك سل حتى العظام. وين؟
Alteration.
Very good.
Alteration.
Very good. Very good. Very good. حيدر. Alliteration. Alliteration. Yeah. Yes, that is alliteration. Ferdinand, the ditty does remember my drowned father. This is no moral business, no more sound that the earth goes here now above me. يعني هو spirit مرة يمين شمال فوق تحتار. Now Prospero to Miranda. انتبه هذه لحظة كلش مهمة because the birth of love. تسمعوني مو طلاب؟
Yes, دكتور.
Yes, sir.
Very good, very good. This is a very interesting moment in the play. That is why we call it a romantic comedy. Sometimes we call it a romantic comedy, tragic comedy. Yeah. Prospero مرتب كل شيء طبعا. He says, the fringe curtains of thine eye advance and say, what thou see yond. قالها تقدمي ووخري هاي الستارة وشوفوا شنو تشوفين قدامك. طبعا من هو قدامها؟ Ferdinand. Now, she is the first time come across such a man. What is it? A spirit? Lord, how it looks about. Believe me, sir, it carries a brave form, which means a beautiful form. But it's a spirit. Now, by the way, Miranda ما شايفة رجال بحياتها. Only her father and Caliban. Now she is shocked. Prospero, no, when it eats and sleeps and has such senses as we have. مثلنا بشر يأكل ويشرب وينام. This gallant which thou sees was in the wreck. هذا قلها كان بالحطام نفسه ما نسمي. And but he is something stained with the grief that's beauty canker. Thou might call him a goodly person. He has lost his fellows and stray about to find them. He lost his friends. Miranda, I might call him a thing divine. خلاص Miranda بعد. More. Love at the first sight. Please write down. He's in love. For nothing natural so noble. Prospero aside. قبل شوي حكينا الأسايد. It goes on. I see. يحتوي روحه. It goes on, which means they follow love. The plan that I have made is succeeded right now. You follow?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Good. Very good. As my soul permits or promotes, spirit find it, I will free thee. I will free thee within 2 days after this. Talking to Ariel, you have done very good job, and I will free you within 2 days. Ferdinand, love, listen carefully. Most sure, Ferdinand is going to see Miranda for the first time. He is going to see Miranda for the first time. Most sure the goddess on whom these are tended. Vouchsafe my prayers, may know if you remain upon this island, and that you will some good instruction give how I may bear me here. My prime request, highlight. Please do highlight. My prime request, which I do last pronounce, is. شوف شنو الطلب مالته is. Oh, you wonder if you be made or no. Now, the word made here means virgin, not married. You got the point?
Maiden, yes.
Very good. Now, write down theme of virginity. Theme of virginity. Shakespeare is telling us that at that time, man could never get married to a non-virgin lady. In the Western culture. يعني هسه تبدل الوضع. Now Miranda, No wonder, sir, but certainly a maid, she says. A maid. Ferdinand. Oh, my language? She speaks my language, same language that I do. Heavens. طبعا هاي من جانبه يعني هم جميلة وهم maid وهم تتكلم لغتي. Heavens, I am the best of them that speak this speech. Were I but best spoken. How Prospero, how the best? What were thou if the king of Naples heard thee? قال لا سمعك king of Naples. Prospero, yeah. Ferdinand, a single thing, as I am now, that wonders to hear thee speak of Naples. He does hear me, and that he does I weep. Myself, I am Naples. Now he is dead, and I am the king of Naples. He says, my father is dead, the king. And now myself, I am Naples, which means I am the king of Naples. Who with mine eyes never since at ebb beheld the king my father's wreck. Miranda, Allah, for mercy. تبكي ميراندا.